who will be Manchester City's main contenders for the Premier League title for this season. Personally, I think it's going to be Liverpool and Arsenal, because Liverpool have got two signings in. They've got that guy from Leipzig. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's a good signing for their midfield. They've also got McAllister, another good signing for their midfield. And I don't see Liverpool having as bad of a season next season as they have in this season just gone. I don't think they'll push us as hard as like they have done in previous seasons where they've lost out by a point, but I think they provide a bigger challenge to us than any other team. I think Arsenal will be up there as well, but I don't think they'll be able to be as consistent in the upcoming season as they were in the season just gone, because they've got the Champions League to focus on as well as the Premier League, which they didn't have last season, where they came second. And even though they're likely to get Declan Rice and Timber along with the Havertz signing, I still think they need like a natural striker, because Havertz isn't a natural striker who they've bought from Chelsea. Jesus, who they already have at the football club, isn't a natural striker. I see him more as a winger and like a player that's good at holding the ball up and a good player off the ball, but I don't see Jesus as like a natural finisher. On to Man United now. I don't see Man United competing for the title if they keep the Glazers. If they get new owners in and they maybe like make a couple of really good signings, because they've already got Mount in, but I don't see that as a good signing. I see that as a transfer that was sort of a panic buy. And there's talk of them getting Onana from Inter Milan. I think that would be a very good signing. But what United need is they need an out-and-out striker, because they haven't had that for a while. They need a keeper who can actually distribute the ball. They need more cover for Martinez and Varane, because if any of them get injured, you've got to play Maguire and Lindelof, who are absolutely shocking compared to Martinez and Varane. And if the Glazers stay, then I worry for United in terms of competing for big trophies. But if they get new owners in, like maybe like the Saudi or like the Qataris, then maybe they can compete. But for now, I don't see it happening because of like they haven't got their owner situation sorted out and they haven't had the best transfer window so far. On to Newcastle. If Newcastle follow up that Tonali signing, well, it's not like been officially announced by the club, but like Fabrizio put a here we go on that transfer. If they can get like other players alongside Tonali, then possibly they could get top four again. But I don't see them like getting into like the high 80s in points or even like 90s, because I think with them being in the Champions League, that's going to have to make them focus on that as well, and that's going to make them struggle, because one of the reasons why Newcastle did so well in the league last season is because they only had the Premier League to focus on. Yes, they had the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, but they went out early in the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup, they got to the final, where I think if they had Pope in that game, they might have won, or at least not lost by 2 goals. But they've got the Champions League to play for, the Premier League and the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. So what Newcastle are going to have to decide is which trophy they really want to go for. Because the thing with Newcastle is they have a very good starting 11, but they don't have like good backup players. Like if Pope gets injured, they're in trouble, and if they get injuries to any like defenders like Botman and Trippier, then they're also in trouble. On to Chelsea now. I think they're one of the dark horses for this season. I think everyone's assuming that they're going to do bad because of how bad they were last season where they came 12th. But I think if they back Poch in the transfer window and get rid of like the dead wood like Gallagher and that, then they could make a push for the top 4. I don't think they'll compete for the league this season, but maybe give it like 2-3 years, they could be back competing for big trophies again. Spurs, I'm absolutely writing them off because they've got Postecoglou in from Celtic. Yes, he did well at Celtic, but the Scottish League is one of the worst leagues in the world, and now he's come into the best league in the world, and there's a big difference in terms of quality. I don't see him doing well, and I can see Spurs being in a battle for top 10, let alone a Premier League title challenge. Obviously, I think City are the favourites for the title, but because we haven't had the best transfer window so far, because we've only got Kovacic in, and there's possibilities that like key players could leave, because Gundogan's already left, Mahrez is linked to the exit door, so is Laporte, and so is Bernardo Silva, and also Kyle Walker. So if we lose all those players, then that could possibly open the door to other teams to maybe close the gap on us or even win the league. But I think what City are doing is they're waiting for outgoings, and then maybe with the money that we get from the outgoings, we could maybe put that towards like new signings, because I'm hearing that we're linked to De Jong today, but I don't see that happening unless we offer like 75 million or 80 million plus maybe Bernardo Silva as part of the deal. But realistically, if we do lose Bernardo Silva, we're going to have to make a statement signing, because De Bruyne is out until like mid-August. So he's going to miss like the Arsenal game in the Community Shield, the Burnley game, maybe the Newcastle game, probably. So we could do with another midfielder, and also possibly a winger if Bernardo Silva goes, because I know he's not a natural winger, but he did play that at points in the Champions League in the season just gone. And thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.